Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I am good. How are you?
Fantastic. I've got a lot of Star Wars stuff today. I'm not exactly sure what's up with that, but I think, you get online, you get hooked on something, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got a whole page worth of Star Wars stuff.
Well, we should tell our son to tune in.
I know. An artist in Melbourne, Australia, sparked outrage with his crucifixion, an exhibit of C-3PO robots nailed to crosses. He said it was not meant to be sacrilegious.
How
so,
could...
I'm not sure what
I don't know what the
do.
meaning is with
idea.
it.
And you, too, can have your very own official Star Wars name. Here's how it works. Take the last three letters of your name, flip those around backwards, follow that with the first car you ever drove, and add from the planet of whatever the last medication was you ingested. So for me, hello, I'm Noho Rabbit from the planet of generic Tylenol. First car I drove was a Volkswagen Rabbit. And you said you drove a Ford Escort?
Yeah.
So you're Itty Escort from the planet generic something. Whatever. We don't buy brands here, probably.
From the planet Anxiety.
Anxiety. We sound so exotic. Coming up, we've got
I sound like a prostitute.
You kind of do. Okay, coming up, we're going to... And your name does, too. I'm just saying. All right, we've got Tuesdays with Charlie later today. All of that and much, much more on a fun-filled edition of The John and Heidi Show. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, August the 16th. Today is Joe Miller's Joke Day. It's also National Airborne Day, National Roller Coaster Day. Ooh, we should celebrate that somehow. And Wave at Surveillance Cameras Day. I do that every once in a while. When you walk in, you see it, I'm like,
if
hey,
you can
how you
see
doing?
the screen, yeah.
What's up? Well, I don't ever see the screen, but I'm just saying if I
do
see a camera, just kind of wave at them. Hello.
There are stores where they have the screen pointing at you so you can see yourself when you walk in the door.
Yeah, I've seen
I
those.
do wave at those.
Yeah. I do know exactly what you mean. For some
and then
reason,
I always think, man, I need to lose some weight.
It's probably just the angle. And they say the camera adds 200 pounds. So, you got that going. What's that? I was just informed I'm incorrect in my estimate. Apparently, it's not 200. All right, we got a lot of Star Wars stuff, and our first Star Wars thing will be coming up here. We're going to talk about a Star Wars wedding. It's an interesting one.
Okay.
And it's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio not long ago in a galaxy not quite so far away. This was in Esther, UK. 33-year-old Bromwell Brightly got married to 29-year-old Tasman Lofts in a wedding that would have made any self-respecting Star Wars geek break down and cry. Bromwell dressed as Han Solo and Tasman dressed as Princess Leia, which later we're going to find out there really is a Princess Leia, by the way. What was called the ultimate Star Wars wedding. Attending the service was Chewbacca, various stormtroopers, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bromwell says he didn't really want a traditional church wedding, so he decided to do something different. The couple originally wanted to hold the wedding on May 4th, since it's,
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. But instead, they waited until the following week, which was their 8th anniversary of them being together. With 50 guests at the wedding and another 50 at the reception afterwards, Bromwell admitted that the sight of so many costumes was amazing. And you guessed it, instead of a traditional first dance, they opted for a lightsaber duel.
Oh, wow.
Had all the lights off while they did that.
Wow, that's...
They said the whole day was amazing. Everybody looked amazing. And I said to everyone there, this is the greatest day of my life. Everyone made extra special effort. And without them, it wouldn't have been so good. End quote. So there you go. I think that's really cool. And I think our son would go for something like that. Our son,
just crazy.
Up until, because he's 19 now, up until he was about 17.
I wonder if her dad was Darth Vader then when he walked her down the aisle.
Luke, I am her father. I don't know. Anyway, our son, up until he was about 17, had never even seen Star Wars. And then for some project at school, a film class that he was in,
Yes.
they made him watch Star Wars. And then
And
all
then
of a
he
sudden,
was hooked.
flip on the old Star Wars geek button.
yeah, it was
and then our son we're driving
insane.
along. He's like, the moon of whatever. I'm like, where's that? It's in Star Wars. I'm like, oh, I thought you were talking about a real moon. So anyway, today our son will be really happy if he's tuned in because I get a lot of Star Wars stuff. And again, I don't know why, but it was out there when I was scooping things up, and I thought it might just be kind of fun. So stick around. We'll have a lot of fun things to chat about. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Trying to bribe a deputy with a snack of Dunkin' Donuts coupons? Well, maybe that wasn't really the best thing to do. After being arrested, Hutchinson Island man compounded the error by threatening that he would, quote, get a bullet. That's what he told the officer. Martin County Sheriff's reports that Michael J. Matikas, 23, was charged with DUI and corruption by threat. A police officer stopped him in a 2000 Lexus on suspicion of speeding. He was going fast. Officers called a sheriff deputy after becoming suspicious that the driver was impaired. The deputy arrived to be offered coupons. You can have these if you just let me park the car and walk home. He was trying to give him Dunkin' Donuts coupons.
Hey, these can be yours.
Then he failed the roadside sobriety test and was arrested and taken to jail. Once the breath test room, where you do the breathalyzer thing, things got worse, and he said, you're done. You're done. You're done. You're going to get a bullet. You should have let me go.
Whoa.
So that's what he was saying once he got, detained.
Yeah,
So-
that just makes your
Yeah, probably not
punishment
gonna help.
way worse. You
So this
can't
dude was
threaten a law
drunk as a
enforcement
skunk
officer.
and thought that it'd be okay to, first of all,
Wow.
offer them Dunkin' Donuts coupons, which,
I don't think that would work.
it's a thought that counts, though, right? Look, that was thoughtful. Anyway, that did not work, just so you know. So don't.
I would
don't
not
try
be
that.
a law enforcement officer today for anything.
No,
for anything.
I've got
I
several
admire
relatives.
them
Me too. Several
for
relatives
putting
that
up
are,
with all the garbage they put up with, but there's
in that.
no way I could do it.
I couldn't either. Hats off to you. We love you. Big fans. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Movies and movie theaters designed especially for moms and babies? A Mexican cinema chain is getting set to offer movies for mothers and babies. It's called Movie Mom. Going to be launched in 15 cinemas. Mothers who take their babies to the movie cinema will get bibs and baby food and a toy for their baby to play with while they watch the movie. The temperature in each cinema will be programmed to the comfort of the babies, and some lights will be left on in case mothers need to use the cinema's changing tables that are right on the side of the theater.
Ew.
This does not sound like a good movie experience
No.
for anyone other than that one couple that has the baby. I can't even imagine. But if there's a big demand for this, if there's something where there's
I'm
a lot of
pretty
moms,
sure there's not. I mean,
lot of
most
new
people,
moms-
when they're wanting to go to a movie, they get a babysitter
I
and
was
leave
gonna
their
say,
kids
there,
at home.
there could be a lot of new moms that are saying, I'd love to go to the movie, but I only want to go if I can take my kid. Maybe this is a good plan. 15 cinemas they're going
Can
to
you
be launching.
imagine a room full of crying babies when
No.
you're trying to watch a movie?
Can't.
And then if one baby starts crying, you're going to wake up the other kid, and that one's going to start
This
crying.
is
It's going to be like a domino
symphony.
effect of
A
crying
symphony
kids.
of crying babies. Get these kids to a Trump rally quick.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
The scoop of the day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. After a 3-year hiatus, McDonald's is bringing back the McCafe Pumpkin Spice Latte. I didn't even know they had taken the hiatus. So
They only do those in the fall.
yeah,
and then
but this is a 3-year hiatus, so they haven't done it for 3 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know. Did you miss it?
No.
No, nor did I.
But what I do miss is the peppermint one that they bring out every Christmas. So I'm looking forward to that
Yeah.
one.
Hey, according to a new study, rich people pay less for car insurance than poor people. So it's all based on credit. So they're saying rich people pay less. Kinda
That's
seems
not right.
backwards.
It
No.
should be based off of your driving record.
Exactly. Hey, in the story of Walt Disney's Pinocchio, the boy puppet lies are revealed whenever his wooden nose grows. Since then, a growing nose has been synonymous with being caught in a fib. Turns out, this idea is not too far from the truth. Researchers at the University of Granada in Spain found that when people lie, their noses and orbital muscles get a little warm, a condition they call the Pinocchio effect. Researchers found that when people fib, the temperature in the muscles around the nose and eyes heat up while other areas of the face are cooled. This corresponds with actions in the insular cortex, nestled deep within the cerebral cortex, which controls emotions, subjective sense, and our inner blood pressure during exercise and perception of pain. So if you made it through that whole thing and still know what the heck I'm talking about, congratulations, because I don't. All I know is they're saying that when you lie, according to this story, your nose gets warm, and so do the areas around your nose. So if that's the case, there are several politicians whose face should burst into flame at any point now. So, and they're saying that that's close. If that were the case, wouldn't Pinocchio have his, nose get warm? And I remember when I was a kid, they'd say, liar, liar, pants on fire. Maybe it should have been liar, liar, nose on fire.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they're saying it gets warm, but I guess maybe it's not that warm.
Maybe Pinocchio's nose was warm when it grew. We don't know.
Could have been. Have no clue.
And he wasn't a real boy yet. He was still a doll.
When he became a real boy, did his nose continue to grow?
No.
So
It was just when he was a puppet.
Well, we've kind of taken a bit of a...
We're putting entirely too
Yes.
much thought into this.
A research
theory.
team says that they may be on the right track in finding a cure for baldness. So they're working on that right now. So
Did we talk about that?
I don't think so. I don't know if we did. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything. Hey, a town in Virginia has voted to fine anyone heard using profanity in the public. How much do you suppose the fine would be?
$50.
Not close. $250.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would be
You can't say that on the radio, Heidi. Were you trying to prove a point there?
Well, yes, but it was accurate.
Point proven. And as I was saying earlier in the program, I have a plethora of stuff from Star Wars here. And since we've got Star Wars and we also have the Olympics, what if we add the two together? Can the Winter Olympic Games be on Star Wars, on the Star Wars planet of Hoth? It says here, web designer Shane Igo was bothered by the low TV ratings for the Winter Olympics, so he began a campaign to petition the next Winter Olympics to be held on the ice planet Hoth from Star Wars.
Stupid.
Drew thousands of supporters, though.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Some of whom created artist renderings of possible events, like the Stormtrooper Biathlon. And the man goes on, he admits that there would have been a couple of catches, like the next Olympic sites have already been slotted, and Planet Hoth is completely fictitious. But other than that, we're on to something here. So there you go.
These people need to move out of their parents' basement and go get a job.
Hey, just so you know, they don't all live in their parents' basement. Some of them live in their parents' second story bedroom. At least ours did up until just recently. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We appreciate you tuned in on a Tuesday. Tuesdays with Charlie is on the way.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone, we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
How you doing, Charlie?
Is it really Tuesday already?
I don't know how
know.
that happened. Somehow. I don't know what's going on. So what kind of cool stuff we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Well, let's see what we got here.
All right.
Okay, we'll start with this one here. Did you know it takes 75,000 trees to print a Sunday edition of the New York Times?
You're kidding me.
No, I would never kid you.
Holy cow.
So I'm assuming that means all of the papers, not just the one paper that I would read.
no, there'll be all of them.
It's a whole lot of... I wonder why they haven't made them quit printing those yet and just have everybody go digital. I think that maybe it's time to do that.
I think it's probably getting close.
Yeah.
I would think so. That's a lot of trees.
That's a whole lot of trees. Can that really be accurate? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know, Dad.
Hey, Charlie said it. It's gospel.
If I said it, you know it's true.
The internet calls him to find out if things are accurate. Don't question his authority.
Hey, you know them, you call them, they wear them low-hanging baggy pants?
Oh, yeah.
Like gangsters?
Yeah.
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 You know where them originated?
Prison.
Yes. How did you know that?
Well, she was in...
I had a short stint.
She did a dime upstate. No, she didn't really.
Full time and Folsom there.
Yeah. No. I think she learned it from you because I believe you told us this before.
No, I read that, but
Okay.
but elaborate. Tell us what it means.
Well, because they couldn't wear belts.
Yeah.
So I suppose they got one size fits all, and some of them don't work.
Huh. Okay.
I don't want to ever see that on you.
Hey, trust me, if one size fits all, I'm going to be snug.
Hey, then, speaking about jeans, did you know that in the process of making jeans, it involves over 900 gallons of water per pair?
You're kidding me.
Oh.
For one pair of jeans?
Would I ever kid you?
No, you wouldn't.
I don't know. This kind of sounds like he's written an entire episode on how to waste natural resources. I'm not sure if any of this is accurate.
It's all
The
accurate.
thing is, you can use the same 900 gallons over again.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, at my house, the amount of water I save by re-wearing my jeans repeatedly makes up for the amount of water it took to make my jeans. Because the amount of times I wear them in between washings is somewhat disgusting, I think so.
Well, I think
I'm saving the water that they made to make those jeans.
There you go.
Well, I think theoretically, though, you're not supposed to wash jeans only about once a month if you wore them every day.
No kidding.
I read that somewhere, too.
Then I'm right on track.
I think a lot of it depends on what you're doing while you're wearing the jeans.
That's true. Hey, who was the first company to produce sneakers?
To produce sneakers? I don't know. Who was it?
Keds.
Keds.
Oh, yeah.
In 1917.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And then Converse came just a little later in the same year, but Keds were the first ones.
Huh. Well, now we know. Thank you.
Hey, then here's one of life's mysteries.
What's that?
That a tube of toothpaste runs out really fast for the first 90%, and the remaining 10% lasts for days.
Yeah, it does, too.
Notice that?
You can squeeze that sucker out for another 2 or 3 weeks if you gotta.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know where Manhattan's at.
Yeah, New York, yeah.
You know that every workday, 6.7 million people commute to Manhattan.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of commuting. Okay, I got one last thing here for you.
All right,
All right.
what's that?
Okay, it is perfectly legal for women to walk around topless in New York City.
No.
What?
Every August, a mass army of topless women gather in Central Park to celebrate International Go Topless Day.
Huh.
Of course, they always draw a huge crowd.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
So there's something good about August.
In New York, anyway.
You ready for your question, Charlie?
I think I've got the answer.
All right. Which ocean is saltier, the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean?
Pacific.
You know, on a 50-50, how did you get that wrong? I'll give you another chance. What do you think it is now?
You're kidding me.
No,
I
it says,
missed it?
you did. It says the Atlantic Ocean is saltier than the Pacific Ocean.
Why is that?
I have no idea. More salt in it, I'm guessing.
Well, I got 0 out of 0.
Your record stands. Well, we will talk to you again soon, Charlie. Thank you so much.
I'll be here.
All right.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. A little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the early draft of the original movie Star Wars, when they were writing the very first book, the character Luke Skywalker had a completely different name. His name was Dirk Starkiller.
Oh, yeah, I like Luke Skywalker
I
better.
do, too. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Americans make 350 billion phone calls in a year. Most of them are from teenage girls.
And you.
And me, apparently.
I'm way below that.
I'm
I'm way below in that number.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average wind speed on the planet Jupiter is over 225 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty windy. Talk about bad hair day every day on Jupiter. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
85 to 90% of a horse's life is spent on their feet. So they're standing almost their entire life if they're a horse.
I can see that.
So,
I never see a horse laying around,
No,
really.
I've never seen one sitting in a recliner relaxing.
No.
Ever. I mean, does that even happen? Somebody should make a lazy
Somebody
horse.
should make a nice chair for the horses.
All right. Coming up, we got more silly Star Wars stuff to chat about. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Email marketing is affordable and a proven way to grow your business. If it's done right, you can stay in contact with your customers to let them know when you have new things to offer. You stay in control the whole time, too. You decide when the messages are sent, and you decide what is being said. So you're constantly in control of your business image. You can do this, but don't try it on your own. Team up with one of the biggest names in email marketing, Constant Contact. Sign up for a free trial right now at radiosavings.com. Sign up now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the John and Heidi Show on this Tuesday, the 16th day of August. Today has unofficially become a Star Wars edition of this program, only because when I was online searching for stuff, I started finding stuff about Star Wars and the Olympics, which we talked about, and there was a Star Wars wedding. And
This
all
will
of a sudden,
probably upset some people, but I am not a Star Wars fan.
No, that's all right. You
Not
don't
even
have
in
to
the
be.
80s. Not even when I was a kid and
No.
those movies were
You don't have to
out
be.
and they were huge. I just was like,
Here's
I
the thing.
don't
is
get it.
Just don't take it away from them. If they like it, let them do it. That's
Oh, well,
the thing.
that's-
like our son.
Whatever.
We talked about this earlier. Up until he was like 17, had never even watched Star Wars. He lived a sheltered life at our house because we didn't watch it at home. And then all of a sudden, at school, they had this class that he was in where they watched a bunch of different movies, and one of them happened to be Star Wars, and he got bit by the Star Wars bug. And the kid loves Star Wars. I mean, maybe too much.
Well, then he kept bringing them home and making us sit through them. Like,
I was
I
like, "Oh, you
really don't want to
look
watch
at this. I got this one. And Heidi's in there like in a wine coma. And I'm trying to stay awake and watch him and just be supportive. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I saw this when I was 8. Anyway, the Church of the Jedi has an actual church building now. Star Wars fan brothers Barney and Daniel Jones from somewhere in Wales. That's like England area, right?
Yes, Scotland.
They founded the UK Church of the Jedi. They said they found Jedi religions on the internet, but they plan to open an actual church. The congregation wears black, and they'll wear brown Jedi Master robes and deliver sermons
my
on the
goodness.
Force, lightsaber training, and meditation techniques. And they say women will be welcome because, as Barney says, Princess Leia helped them out a lot.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Some people might have little delusions. All right, I'll move on. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about the real Princess Leia. Also, Chewbacca is an American citizen, and do you want to be a Jedi? All of these things and more.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
found all of this in a simple click on the internet. This is readily available, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about, so it's all on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're in business, you need a website. Come on, it's 2016. Do you think this internet thing is not going to catch on? Many business owners that don't have a website think it's just too expensive. Well, now it's not. You can get a website for a few $100s, not thousands of dollars that are charged elsewhere. We can help you set up and design the site and then turn you loose to manage it, or we can help you manage the site for just a tiny bit more. Learn about this special radio offer right now at radiosavings.com. Get an extra $50 off if you sign up this month at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Heidi, I have one word for you.
Okay. Oh, my God.
That's all I got to say. Chewbacca is now an American citizen. It's official. British actor Peter Mayhew, who played the Star Wars Wookiee hero, became a citizen not too long ago in Arlington, Texas, at a ceremony there, a Dallas suburb. Mayhew said he's always been fascinated with the cowboys and American history, and marrying a Texas lady more or less decided it. When he took the oath of American citizenship, he recited what he could remember and then used the chewy growl for other parts. So it's like, uphold the Constitution. So
I wouldn't think that would
he was a part
pass.
of a giant group of people, so I'm sure, he meant whatever he growled. So it's not the real Chewbacca. It's the guy that played the real Chewbacca. The real Chewbacca doesn't exist. So just calm down. All right. Want to be a Jedi? We'll tell you how in a bit. And the real Princess Leia. No kidding. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. There's a new Star Wars movie coming out. They leaked a bunch of stuff on the internet about that like a week ago. And the internet's flooded with all kinds of Star Wars stuff right now. So today I decided I'm going to just roll with it because I couldn't avoid it.
Okay.
It was either talk about Star Wars or talk about the Olympics. And I don't know much about the Olympics.
Yeah,
So
I don't know much about either one.
You ever want to be a Jedi?
Not even a little, no.
Adrian Pavel, the head of Romania's Star Wars club, has founded the Jedi Academy after so many fans asked how they could be more like the movie characters. He told a Liberty newspaper that they had meetings and lectures and dressed like Jedis, but that wasn't enough. Now, anybody who passes a 100-question quiz can join the academy, learn about the Jedi religion, lightsaber fighting, how to speak Wookiee, and even how to cook dishes seen in the film, such as Sand Trooper sandwiches, Princess Leia Danish donuts, and Wookiee cookies. That's just funny to me. I'd like a Wookiee cookie to go, please.
I really just don't have a whole lot to say during this episode because anything I do say is not going to be nice.
I know.
And I have no knowledge on anything.
Hey, you know what?
Further.
There's some people that are really happy today. They're like, finally, a program I can relate to. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the real Princess Leia. That is on the way.
John and Heidi.
Whether you're following the election or not, you understand that it impacts you. And this will be a historic election. The mainstream media has their own spin on who's going to win, but PoliticalStorm.com lets you chime in. You can keep yelling at the TV if you want. See how that works out. Or truly voice your opinion and have it heard at PoliticalStorm.com. Be informed from several different sources all in one place. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like mine, and read fun editorials to engage your brain. You have a choice, and now you have a voice, too, at PoliticalStorm.com. That's PoliticalStorm.com. I'm going to try to squeeze as much into this break as I possibly can. We got 2 minutes. Here we go. First of all, there's a real Princess Leia. Norway's Princess Martha Louise gave birth to a baby girl and named her Leia after the famous Star Wars character, although she did spell it a little differently, but it's pronounced the same way. She was born back in 2005, so what would that make her now, 11?
Okay.
Fifth in line to the Norwegian throne. They say, I must admit, I've always been a big Star Wars fan, and Princess Leia has always been the most beautiful in the whole world to me, said Princess Leia's mother, Princess Martha Louise. So, yeah, she named her daughter Leia, and she is a princess, so there really is a Princess Leia. Chewbacca played baseball. Did you know that? The actor who played Chewbacca threw out the ceremonial pitch to before a baseball game between the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. And an actress playing Princess Leia, they're promoting Star Wars, where science meets imagination. It was an exhibit at the Museum of Science in Boston. So there you go. By the way, if you'd like to find more information than you can ever possibly fit in a little 4-hour radio program, just Google Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff.
I bet you anything, a grown man in a giant furry suit throwing out the first pitch looked way more masculine than our president did throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah, probably. That was kind of funny looking, wasn't it?
That was ridiculous.
All right, and one last thing before we get to it. I've got a couple of facts, and then we're going to be done with Star Wars, but I'll put all of this stuff online so you can read it there if you want. Did you know that it took over 2 years to write the script? George Lucas, took him 2 years to write the script for the first one.
Okay.
40 hours a week writing and devoting much of his free time to reading comic books and watching old Buck Rogers episodes for ideas. Lucas insisted on casting unknown actors and actresses for the important parts of the film, which made the studio very uneasy. Mark Hamill had more than 100 TV appearances, and Carrie Fisher had studied acting, but neither had much experience in films. Harrison Ford's biggest role was as the drag racer in American Graffiti.
Yeah.
And when he read for the part of Han Solo, he was a working carpenter. So he was actually, his day job was out building stuff. So that film series has done quite well. And there's a lot of people who owe their
They sure
career
made a
to
lot
it.
of stars.
Yeah, they certainly did. So there we go. All done with Star Wars now. But we do have some good news on the way, and it's going to be about the Olympics. Like I said, flip a coin. Star Wars or Olympics. And I even had one story that was both of them. It's all on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is pretty darn good news. An interesting story from the Olympics. For those of you who are unaware, the Olympics are going on right now. It's kind of hard to avoid that, really. Flipping through the TV channels, even channels that have nothing to do with the Olympics, have commercials for things that have to do with the Olympics. And I got to thinking, how weird would it be if you didn't know the Olympics were going on? Some of these ads would make no sense whatsoever. I was like, wow,
That's something else that I just haven't
out
been
of
following. I have
context.
no interest.
Well, what happens to all of the unused food at the Olympic Games? You ever think about things like that? It's a real waste to see things like that thrown out, especially in a country that could so desperately use it. Socially conscious chefs have started an initiative to feed the Rio de Janeiro hungry population with that surplus food. A team of international chefs create meals daily from the surplus non-manipulated ingredients donated to them by the catering company that feeds the Olympic Village. That includes more than 11,000 athletes that are there eating, by the way. The effort is supported by a team of more than 40 organizations and individuals. So they decided, hey, instead of having a giant dumpster full of food,
That's wonderful.
let's find a way to get this to people who could use it. Their population there in Rio, in the city of Rio, and that's the country. What is the country? Brazil? Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Yeah.
But the population in that area, it's in a area of Rio where there's a lot of people who are like very hungry,
homeless and
there were mass muggings. You know, you watch if you. Again,
I read another story just yesterday that one of our swimmers was held at knife point.
Isn't
and
that crazy?
Yeah.
So they are in an area where there are people who could absolutely use this food. So what a great idea for somebody to come up with this. And it's a couple of chefs that are working on it. I have a link to this story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And for those of you who were loving all that Star Wars stuff earlier, there was a lot that I couldn't fit in. So I just threw that online as well.
Ooh.
I know what you're thinking.
I'm going right there to check that out.
With only 4 hours to fill, how could you possibly have run out of stuff? Anyway, there's a whole lot of interesting Star Wars things for those of you that are interested in that kind of thing. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.